Presented by AfterBuzz TV and hosted by Hall of Fame superstar Sean X-Pac Waltman, this is X-Pac 12360. And now your host, WWE Hall of Fame superstar Sean X-Pac Waltman.
Welcome to X-Pac 12360, everyone.
How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Ty?
Doing fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
How's your birthday?
That was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. You like to keep kind of a low profile for your birthday?
It's not a thing for me. Okay, so I've had a couple of birthday parties in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like okay. Actually, we were talking about before we came on air, Mexico, and one of them was in Mexico, and the boss at AAA, Dorian Roldan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was who was it? It was my ex, Alicia, who was down there in Mexico with me, right in Shamrock. I think Conan might have been there. Ron Killings, R-Truth.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and myself and Dorian, the boss of AAA, and I think some of the other, I think Jorge Flores, one of those guys that works with him, was there. Anyways, yeah, what a great story that is. So what I'm trying to say is I haven't had very many birthday parties.
I see. Okay.
Another one I had a couple of years ago at the Rainbow on Sunset.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Glenn Danzig came.
Oh, shit.
Sebastian Bach. Trying to think of who else showed. It was a star-studded, occasion. Actually, a lot of people came out for that, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Rainbow Road gets jumping. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago.
Right.
When I first came out here, and I was still kind of all caught up in being back in town, and
right.
Out in Hollywood every night. Not getting fucked up, but just out in Hollywood every night.
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes
Being
that's enough.
seen, being seen in Hollywood. I was going to a bunch of shows and different things, and I'm just over it now.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
No, I feel you.
Like some great shit. Like every night there's something great going on around here, and I'm just like,
Right. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
I think I'll just stay home.
You get kind of immune to it when you live out here. Yeah.
So, but Heroes Hideout in Albany, New York.
Mm-hmm. That's where
they
you were?
hosted me. Yes, and it was. So originally, the poor guy, he put together this big NWO reunion that was supposed to take place a few months back, like around the same time WrestleMania was going on, actually, in Mohegan Sun, which is in the New York area, New York City area. It's a casino out there,
right?
And it was supposed to be a big NWO thing, and apparently, I don't know. He told me Hulk had. Tentatively agreed to it, and then once it got to the, to the management, to his agents and all that, it was a no-go. And I'm like, dude, don't ever, we'll always say, oh yeah, I'm good.
Right.
Well, don't fucking take our word for shit, dumbass. No, he's not dumbass. I felt bad for him.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky putting that stuff together.
So yeah, anyways, that Mohegan Sun thing got canceled, and he just wanted to honor my his commitment with me, and so I didn't know, he didn't really hit me up, and because it went to my agent.
Oh, I see.
One of them. Jesus Christ, I hope this story's not boring as fuck for everyone.
There's a lot.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he booked me on my fucking birthday, and I didn't find out until so the makeup day was on my birthday,
right? And you still went and did it.
Yeah, fuck it.
See, there you go.
Yeah. I fucking flied me first class. Fucking put me up in a beautiful hotel.
Yeah.
I get to meet people that that want to see me.
Right.
They want to, it's mutual. I want to meet them. They want to meet me.
There are worse ways to spend birthdays for sure. Absolutely.
It was fun. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, good.
I enjoy doing appearances.
Right.
Because I'm not on the grind 250, 300 days a year. I mean, it was a motherfucker back in the day when, you had to do these appearances, but you still had to be, on the road 200
Yeah, I can
days a
imagine.
year. So yeah, I used to not care for him much.
Right.
And now that's the majority of what
Now
I
it's a
do.
little better,
So,
yeah.
By the way, like I'm fucking done wrestling.
Yeah, you're just...
Oh, I'm done. Yeah.
You're done? Yeah. Had you ever made that announcement before? Or?
And I'm not saying I'm never going to have another match again.
Okay.
I mean, fuck that. Yeah, I decided.
Yeah.
The WrestleMania weekend show, myself and Hurricane and Liger had 6-man. That's it. That was it. I'm fucking done.
But if something comes up, you wouldn't necessarily.
If I have a match in WWE on like a WrestleMania or
right,
and all of fucking NXT takeover. Actually, I'm more interested in having a match on a show like that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it would mean more to me.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Who do you have anyone that you would like? Just hypothetically. No.
Maybe I'll team with Matt Riddle.
Yeah, there you go.
Or maybe a 6-man so I could
right,
have a little bit more protection.
Right. And we'll talk a little bit about Matt Riddle as we go on. But speaking of travel, next week we won't have a show because you will be in Tampa.
Well,
right?
I mean, we might be able to figure out.
We may. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah.
But next week you will be.
I'll be in. I think people might know if they saw the commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be at the Raw reunion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Biggest reunion in WWE history. They're calling it. Yeah.
So I almost didn't. I told them they hit me up. There's some Carano called me. I don't. People. I'm fucking honest about.
I wasn't sure if you were going to
shit.
talk about it. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like I worked hard and I've worked hard to get back to where I am now.
Of course, yeah.
And I want everything that I worked to get. And
sure.
And that includes like just being recognized and valued. And,
right.
And when you're promoting a big Raw reunion and you list like Santino and fucking other guys, and nothing against any of them, but you don't fucking put my name on there. That kind of shit hurts my feelings.
Of course.
And I'm apt to send a text to Carano and go, if it's not that important to you guys, I think I'm good. I think I'll just stay home.
Right.
And then so they put me in the commercial, and now I gotta go.
Well, yeah, and it's
fucking Carano texts me after the commercial plays. Did you see the commercial? I'm like, no, I missed it. Can you tell him to play it again? He's like, oh, you were in it. I'm like, I know.
That's hilarious.
Just fucking with you.
And I mean, and not to blow smoke, but like when you showing up on Raw the day after WrestleMania 14, that is one of the to me like that's one of the biggest moments in Raw. So
also just beating Razor Ramon like that's
of course.
I mean that was the
very first
big storyline angle, whatever fucking they call it these days.
Right.
That was the first one.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And and I was pretty like when it comes to having matches on Raw, I had fuck tons of matches on Raw.
Of course.
Over the years. I mean tons. Like more than most.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
anyways,
definitely.
And so, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm happy. And I'm grateful that they asked me.
Absolutely,
but
yeah.
I'm going to cry about every time something like that happens to me. I am going to fucking complain about it every fucking time. Because, like, honestly, and that's as important as the money to me.
Right.
Yeah, respect and just, acknowledging, Can I say any fucking, how many times have I said so far? Let's do a count,
we'll keep a
everyone. Counter
at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. So, and then when I say something like that, then it puts in everybody's head. How many times did he say And then like somebody tweeted me and they're like, now I can't fucking stop fucking listening. I'm trying, people.
It happens to the best of us, yeah. Let's get into.
I don't hear you fucking over there going,
Probably, I've probably got my own little ticks. So much wrestling happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
We were talking
has
about
there been a fucking weekend that was more stacked with great wrestling.
Lord.
When's
and that's the thing.
time?
All of it was good. Yeah, exactly. So let's get into it a little bit. Saturday, we had AEW Fight for the Fallen. What'd you think of it? Did you like it?
I didn't see the whole thing.
What did you catch?
A lot of it. But I just want, here's what I want to say about it.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's been reviews and, you know, at this point, it's Tuesday and it's been talked about plenty, right?
But
like,
people don't know what you thought about it.
Yeah, but no one's tuning in, like, to hear my review of the whole show.
That's
At least
exactly
I
what
hope not,
people are tuning in.
They're not getting it. Okay, the first thing was I really loved how they shot that in that venue, because like a venue like that, you think about a venue like that and you go, how the fuck do they shoot this for wrestling? You know, because in my mind I'm going, oh fuck, I hope they don't put the hard camera up in the, you know, up where all the people are, so it's looking down and seeing the stage, and you can't see all the people. And like, it was just great. Like the angle, what looked like must have been their hard camera was like off, like with a side view.
That's what it seemed like, yeah.
Of the amphitheater, and it was just a really cool look. I really, really liked the look of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I dug that presentation a lot, for sure.
Yeah, and just random things like because I like see everything. I loved Sonny Kiss's entrance.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm also, as far as that match goes, I'm glad that people are starting to see what Peter can do in the ring as well.
Yeah, this guy's really solid. He's been around for a long time, and people are starting to, you know, find out about Peter Avalon.
Yeah,
for anybody that's not familiar.
Yeah, he does, because he's doing great character work as the librarian, but he can go in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also in the past couple of years started looking the part more, hitting the gym, and actually, like, because, you know, you can do all this other shit, and if you don't look the part, it's not gonna work for you as much. I mean, it's not like there's not gonna be a place for you somewhere in wrestling, but you gotta look the part,
of course,
for the most part. Not to say, okay, you know, part.
Sure.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so that was that entrance was awesome.
Yeah.
Did you catch the Bucks versus the Rhodeses?
I did not.
That was good.
I did not. I imagine it was. And I'm curious. Like, I'm curious to see how. I mean, I know Cody's worked with Bucks before, right? But how Dustin. Well, how did he mesh with those guys?
See, that's the thing. It was a much slower pace than your typical Young Bucks match. Still really good, but definitely kind of a throwback.
And the people?
People loved it. Yeah, absolutely,
okay,
for sure. All sorts of stuff all over that show. I know there was Britt Baker suffered a concussion on the show.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw her because the big thing in that match was like, okay, why did she go tag the wrong corner?
Right.
Well, because she was knocked the fuck out.
Exactly. Yeah. We had there were a couple injuries over the weekend. I know Will Ospreay suffered a stinger in his match with Sonata. Yeah. New Japan pulled him from a 6-man in Hokkaido because of it, but
good.
Nothing else at this point. So hopefully it's nothing serious.
I'm glad that like New Japan will pull somebody now, because it used to be you just worked fucking hurt. Okay. Going back to Super Junior tournament in '93 that I was in.
Sure.
Fucking Scorpio broke his leg.
Oh, yeah?
I fucking finished the tour, broken leg.
Christ.
Yeah. I worked with him. Yeah, broken leg.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Like, I'm not kidding either. Like, people go, oh, yeah, whatever, a broken leg. He had a broken fucking leg, people.
Right.
Yeah.
And still just, worked on it. Yeah, absolutely.
And they were just fine having him do it.
Right.
Different times.
Luckily, sometimes, business moves on for better or worse. Yeah. But luckily, they pulled him from that. Because obviously, you know, with someone like Will Ospreay, his style opens him up to a lot more injuries. So hopefully he's all good after this. Because that's the thing with a stinger, like, it's hard to...
Do we know how it happened?
I don't know offhand necessarily. I haven't heard exactly what it was on. But you kind of you never know what the severity is with a stinger. But so hopefully he's okay. Hopefully Britt Baker's okay. I know she got checked out, and I think everything's fine on that front.
Yeah. And what else? What other news from that show?
From AEW?
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did we have? Not much like news-wise. I know we had a six-man tag, MJF, Sammy Guevara, Sean Spears.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Really, they're really putting over Sean Spears like as kind of one of their top heels in a big way, but in a much different way than they are with MJF. You know?
Yeah.
I like there being kind of a variety there. Brandy Rhodes beat Ali with Awesome Kong at ringside. We got kind of a little bit of a tease between Aja Kong and Awesome Kong.
I saw that,
which is really cool. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I encourage anyone that doesn't really know who Aja Kong is to go watch some All Japan Women. Man.
Absolutely, yeah.
What a badass she was. Like, okay, they had a few monster heels back then, and okay, so Bull Nakano was one.
Of course,
and
yeah.
they had Dump Matsumoto. Do you remember her at all?
Yeah.
And Aja Kong.
Right,
it was
absolutely.
like after them, a couple years after Bull. And
yeah, and there was even, if you were watching WWF back in, like 94, 95, they were bringing in Aja Kong to work with Alundra Blaze, and God, those spinning back fists. I remember those very vividly.
I wonder, I can't remember if it was Aja, I think it might have been Bull that I saw. Like, it was amazing. Especially like when you talk about like going back to like early 90s or late 80s.
Right.
To see someone drop a fucking leg off the top of a cage.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
Jesus.
Yeah.
There was a three-way tag team match that I absolutely loved. The Dark Order versus Angelico and Jack Evans versus Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I you know what I was thinking about was calling Luchasaurus and Jack having them come in studio.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be very cool. Yeah. And you even, because I watched that ever since you had mentioned them being kind of similar to like you and Kane, and I see that a lot, and I love that kind of dynamic between the two of them. And God, I knew that Luchasaurus could move, but Jesus, the stuff he was doing in this match.
Well, he's really been in the last year or so, really cranked it up on like training, not just
right
in the ring, but like I think he's doing a lot of Taekwondo again too.
Yeah, he's throwing so many kicks in there.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I know because he told me.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
What else? We had Hangman Page versus Kip Sabian. That was a fun one. With Jericho attacking Page after the match.
Hey, how about when the fucking guy was giving Sabian shit and he kissed him? That was fucking great.
I forgot about that. That was amazing.
And did you see Will Ospreay's tweet about it?
No, huh? What did he say?
It was great. Oh, fuck. Jeff, if you could find Will Ospreay's tweet.
Ospreay's tweet about Kip Sabian.
About kissing, like fucking spooning with Sabian and kissing each other back in the day. Oh, that had to fucking ruffle a few feathers.
Amazing. But that was a good one. We had the Lucha Brothers versus SoCal Uncensored. Phoenix and Pentagon versus Sky and Kazarian.
Yeah.
What else did we have?
I liked it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And then Omega and Shima, and then the tag match like we were talking about. A lot of good stuff. Running opposite of that, we had Evolve. Airing on the WWE Network. You mentioned seeing
I saw Riddle and Gulak.
Gulak and Riddle.
Yeah, I went out of my way to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I just love that when guys can go out there and do that.
Of course.
And there's very few that can go out there and do it like that.
Right.
That was those guys going out there and just wrestling.
Exactly.
There was no like, hey, I think we should do this. I think we should do that. I think they might have to finish.
Right. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. And especially with their history with, being in Catch Point and all that stuff, it builds so perfectly off of that.
Yep.
I know you didn't catch a lot of the rest of it, but everyone please go out of your way to check out that show.
I'm definitely going to.
Guys like Josh Briggs and Anthony Green.
I saw Josh.
Were just unreal.
Yeah. Hey, what I did see, and I did see a little bit of a lot of the show. I saw everyone.
Oh, good.
Showing up to fucking get noticed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then, Austin Theory versus JD Drake was a really, really fun match.
And I wasn't familiar with JD Drake, and dude, I love anyone that's not afraid to go out there with fucking black trunks on like that and yank him up to his fucking tits.
Exactly.
That is amazing. And that's looking the part too, because that is his part, right?
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, back in the day, you know, you had guys that rocked that look all the time because they were legitimate badasses, you know?
I gotta be honest, dude.
What's that?
Nothing about him looks like a legitimate badass.
You don't
though.
think so?
Absolutely the fuck not. No. Not saying he's not.
I have no idea.
No, I don't get that vibe at all. At all.
I can see that a little bit.
But I'm still pulling for him.
Sure. I can see that.
He might be a fucking badass.
He
might
very
be
well
able
could
to
be.
fuck up the whole locker
We're
room.
not saying
I'm just
one way or
saying he
the
don't
other.
look like it.
What else we got? As far as headlines go, we talked a little bit last week, obviously, about the passing of Paco Alonso.
Yeah.
Since then, we've learned that Sofia Alonso will be taking over as president of CMLL.
Do we know any more about her, Ty?
About her?
Yeah.
Not that I've read. Yeah. I did read that Paco had suffered a heart attack. That's how he passed.
Okay.
But as far as she goes, all I know is just that she's, 28. Which is crazy to be running a company as old as CMLL.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Right.
Seeing if I can find anything here online, but that's all I've got on this end was that marketing manager spot.
Yeah.
Is there any talk? Like, what's the word on all of that? Like,
she hasn't really. I only read one interview that she did.
She's going to need help doing that.
Of course,
right?
of
and
course.
There's going to be a bunch of people in her ear telling her how it should be done.
Right, exactly. We
fuck.
mentioned that a little last week. So, we'll see how that goes. Elsewhere, Saturday morning, Jeff Hardy was arrested for being drunk in public in Myrtle Beach. It's unfortunate, but it seems, they said that he was arrested without incident. I think they released him on bail, so hopefully it's done and it's not indicative of anything bigger.
It's sad to me that, obviously I wasn't there, but I can't picture Jeff being in any trouble. Like, I've seen him in bad condition before.
Sure.
And it was just like, hey, let's just get him out of here and, get him in the car. There was no like, it's not being, what do you call it? Like
belligerent.
Right. Yeah. Or anything like that. So it's just like, why does he have to go to jail?
Right.
I don't get that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I wasn't there. I love Jeff.
Yeah.
And, every now and again, it seems like we hear something like this about him.
Right.
And you have to understand, like, Jeff is doing so much better. Mm-hmm. Okay, like, than he was like 10, 12. Like, a while back, him and I were pretty bad off at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So, just tell you that, like, yeah, this isn't a good. It doesn't look good or whatever, but it's not,
it could have been.
So what I'm trying to say, if I could spit it the fuck out, is I'm grateful, like, he just has a few incidents with alcohol here and there that we hear about.
Right.
Because, I know where he's been. And it's, he's doing... if you look at it from that point of view, he's doing pretty good in life these days. This is a bump in the road.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good perspective for sure. Yeah. Elsewhere, I know it's been a few days, but there was video online of a fight between Enzo and Joey Janela at a Blink-182 concert. They've since tweeted about it. Janela has tweeted that he kind of started it, sort of half jokingly.
Yeah. And then, and of course, Enzo took and ran with it like he's a badass.
Right. And then Janela...
Get the fuck out of here, Enzo. Dude, I was in... It's just like to watch him, like, say shit about Joey for not wanting any of that smoke. I watched fucking Chris Jericho. Jericho was drunk. We were at the Rainbow. He fucking punched fucking Enzo in the ribs so fucking hard. I couldn't believe Enzo didn't do anything about it. And then he fucking fish hooked him by the nose with his pinky like this in front of everybody, and Enzo didn't do shit. So where was the badass then? That's all.
What brought all that?
So
Where
he
did
just
that
didn't like Jericho
He just didn't like him?
just because of how like he was.
Kind of running his mouth?
Well, because Jericho had been around him in WWE, like
Sure.
on tour buses and whatnot.
Okay.
He just wasn't a fan.
Right.
And he let him know. And I just like, man, I would have fucking had to fight Chris.
Right, for
In
sure.
a second. It
Yeah.
wouldn't have been any talks. It would have just been boom.
Right.
But he wouldn't have done that to me. And it's
Right.
not because like I'm a badass. It's because he has respect for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know?
But we
Man, I couldn't believe Enzo didn't do fucking anything. He didn't even say anything. He just walked off.
right.
So, like, let's not act like we're badasses.
Right.
Please.
But yeah, so we've they've
I'm
tweeted.
sure Enzo's probably
they've
hot when he
tweeted
hears
about
I
it.
told that story.
Janela even kind of like playfully sort of mocked it during the 6-man
Yeah.
at AEW. So that's probably the last we'll hear of it, but it's definitely something that got people talking for sure. Once again, more Twitter. We're always talking about Twitter every week. What else we got?
I still think I should just do a show on fucking wrestling Twitter.
Right?
Yeah.
God knows there's enough content. Before we get into Raw from last night, let's real quick kind of run through Extreme Rules. What did you think of the show on Sunday?
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, it took me a second.
Sometimes you got to kind of like run it
What
back.
was that
like,
question?
oh, yeah.
No, because when you were asking me that, my mind was elsewhere.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, I was still thinking about the end zone.
Yeah, no, it was a solid show though. It was I enjoyed it a lot. We had on the pre-show we had Shinsuke Nakamura winning the IC title from Finn Balor, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Finn will be taking some time off here fairly soon.
Good.
Which is
Hey, so do you remember? When all that scuttlebutt was going on about? When the John Oliver thing came out. And
around WrestleMania time.
And then some, they're talking about the schedule and all that. And I think somebody mentioned guys can take time off any time they want. They just have to ask.
Right.
Which is that's a tough spot too. Cause like you take yourself out of the game. I always talk about Randy Savage's like words of advice that he would never take yourself out of the game and let the competition eliminate themselves were two things that he too big to me.
Sure.
And so like when you operate with that mentality, like it's like almost impossible to ask for fucking time off.
Yeah, there's so much pressure there.
Yeah.
Not knowing if your spot's still gonna be there.
So good for Fergal, good for Finn Balor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going, okay, I need some time.
Right. He's kind of known for messing people with people on Twitter. Not to go back to Twitter, but he just tweeted a picture of himself and just said bye. So of course that got a lot of people talking. But everything seems fine. It just looks like it's something where he needs to recharge, which is good. We had Drew Gulak defending the cruiserweight title against Tony Nese, which is great. I'm loving this Drew Gulak title reign. Yeah.
I said this on Twitter after the match. I'm like, I hope they leave that belt on him for a while.
Right,
I hope he has a decent, long title reign with that.
Right.
Because I think he's perfect for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny. It's like, I was thinking about this. A lot of really great, mat wrestling in the cruiserweight division and a lot of really good high flying in the heavyweight division.
That's interesting. Never thought about that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's funny. So kicking off the show proper, we had Undertaker and Roman Reigns taking on Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon.
Good stuff.
This is really good.
Good stuff. Exactly. Undertaker still has plenty to offer.
Right.
And this is how you do it.
Exactly, yeah. Hopefully this makes people forget about Saudi Arabia.
No, Saudi Arabia was Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Nothing we can do about that.
Right.
And to place this match on the first match of the pay-per-view, perfect spot for that.
Yeah, definitely.
There are no more like prelim pay-per-view match. Like,
right.
Your match is your match, whether it's on like, it's advertised as a main event. It can still go on any fucking time.
Of course.
On the show.
Right.
Doesn't make it not a main event.
Right. We had the Revival.
So what'd you think of that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Hey, did you see the finish though? Did you see Shane almost like mistimed the fucking
on the tombstone?
Tombstone?
Yeah.
And Taker's like,
Yeah.
No.
And that was
Could you
good.
imagine, dude? Oh. Could you imagine if that thing got fucked up?
Right.
Poor Mark.
It's tough. And man, it's tough getting people up for that for sure. But I loved it. I honestly, going into it, I wasn't sure how it was going to be. I think I was just so hell-bent on either seeing a McIntyre Taker program or, something like that without so much Shane in it. But yeah. I thought it was, it's like you said, it's absolutely what it needed to be. And all of Shane's spots, the elbow through the table, the coast to coast, everything was gorgeous.
I just don't see what the need for the big elbow through the table at the end as a heel.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I just don't fucking get that.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it was great, but you're fucking heel.
Those are your babyface spots. Yeah. But yeah, it's exactly what it needed to be. We had the Revival retaining the Raw Tag Team titles against the Usos.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
Who was in it?
It was the Revival versus the Usos.
Yeah, no, I missed it.
Yeah. This one we had Aleister Black versus Cesaro.
Yeah, it was great.
That one I was crazy about.
Yeah,
because anytime where Cesaro can be a base for someone and can just show off how insanely strong he is. Did you see it when he caught the double knees and then threw him up into the uppercut?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
love watching that.
And they did that without there really being a, good guy, bad guy.
Exactly.
Right?
It was, the whole story was just Aleister Black wanted to fight, and Cesaro said, okay, I'll fight you. Yeah. That was the whole story, and I loved that.
Yeah. So, and this isn't like, I don't like it or this or that, but I just, like, Aleister's, this promo thing that he was doing leading up.
Right.
Like, I imagined him being more stoic.
I see. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like he was getting like Latin.
He was a little bit too like emotive, maybe.
Yeah, about like I need to fight.
Right.
Like I just that's not how I pictured him. That doesn't mean it's wrong.
No, sure, but you kind of envision that character as sort of more kind of calm about it. I can see that. More kind of zen about it. We had Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley in a handicap match for the SmackDown Women's title.
Yeah.
I liked the match a lot. I thought the finish was a little bit weird. What did you think?
I don't remember.
It was just the fact that they had Bayley win clean.
Yeah.
In this match, I'm not sure where they're going with it. They could be going somewhere with it, but I don't know. I feel like Nikki could be used better.
Nikki Cross?
Yeah.
I'm gonna reserve judgment on whether they could use her better or not, because they have her in some pretty good fucking story. Like she's getting a lot of TV time, Ty.
Yeah, that's true. But I think she's being in this particular angle. I think she was made to look kind of foolish for a while.
Yeah,
and not.
Well,
maybe...
sometimes that's the fucking part.
Right. So we'll see.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
I really like that. I really like what they're doing with her, actually.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I think she's doing a really good job with it.
She is. I think anything that they give her, she can run with it.
That's what I like about it. Not so much. I think it's a great idea. I just think she's doing a great job with it.
I see.
Because sometimes, and this has been the case on numerous occasions, and like all I can use. The diaper match I had with Scott.
Oh, the crybaby match.
That was bullshit. It was fucking like.
I was just thinking about that the other day.
It was not good for me at all.
Right.
But it was entertaining TV, and I took it and I did the best I could with it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. We'll have to revisit that for sure because I'm dying to hear your thoughts on that.
And a lot of these things like that you enjoy aren't even like, okay, that's some really good writing there. It's just was executed great.
Right.
You know, sometimes you could give someone a fucking plate full of shit and they could just fucking just do, well, not a plate full of shit, but
I feel you. Absolutely. I mean, I think my go-to example is always like, if you look at The Undertaker, a wrestling zombie shouldn't work.
Yeah.
But here we are, 20 years later.
Yeah. So Scott Hall used to say, like, when they would come up with a really bad fucking idea and pitch something really shitty to him, like, yeah, this is what we want you to do. He'd go, if that's what you want me to do, I'll do the best I can with it.
Right.
He'd always say he was going to give it his best.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
It was a pretty bad idea.
Right.
Well, if you insist.
We had Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley, last man standing. Were you iffy on that? Because I loved it.
I just didn't.
Oh, okay. You didn't catch much of it?
No.
I thought it was great. Hell of a visual for the finish. I don't know if you caught it. Braun power slams him into this sort of like, this like abyss, basically, this like hole.
Oh, yeah.
Crashes, friggin' Kool-Aid's through the wall. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome visually. And I'm not usually big on like matches like that, but I loved it. 3-way tag match for the SmackDown tag titles, New Day versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we can get more stuff like this where Heavy Machinery can kind of show more like what they can do. But this was a lot of fun.
I think that Otis in particular, but maybe I'll just say that act is getting some traction finally.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
He's got insane energy, just like boundless energy, charisma. And so I think if they can channel that in the right way.
I saw him doing the Super Porky spot the other night.
Which spot?
Where you fake the fucking
the dive
plancha and then you go on the apron and you do the.
That's right.
Know, yeah.
I forgot that was Super Porky.
Absolutely. 1,000% Super Porky. Fuck. Super Porky's the shit.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
He's a badass too. A lot of people wouldn't think this is Super Porky.
Right.
Brazo de Plata was a bad motherfucker.
I can imagine.
Yes.
Yeah. Super Porky. We had AJ Styles beating Ricochet for the U.S. title. To kind of further that along. A hell of an Avalanche Styles clash to finish.
Yeah.
I loved that. It's scary as hell considering how many people have gotten hurt.
I think I took that Styles clash up the second turnbuckle like that.
Did you?
I think.
Yeah.
It's just when I worked with AJ, I was pretty fucked up back then.
Oh, I see.
So it's a little bit sketchy.
It's a little, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We had, Kevin Owens beating Dolph Ziggler in 14 seconds. Slap to the face, stunner. That was it.
Why? What was that all about?
So I'm not entirely sure why it was that short.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to. I don't know if it's just the stunner, but it seems like they're trying to position Kevin Owens as sort of this kind of like. It seems like Owens and Shane McMahon they're trying to make it kind of the
Vince
new
and Steve.
Exactly. Yeah. With Kevin being the one ranting on the mic about all the screen time that Shane's getting, and Shane cutting his mic, all that stuff. So it looks like that's where we're going. That's one of kind of the rumored matches for SummerSlam. So I think that could be really good. But as for why they had him run through Dolph in 14 seconds, I'm not super sure.
Yeah, was because it was early in the show, right? It's not like
no, it was later in the show.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody went over.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Somebody
took too much time.
Right.
That's a guess, folks.
Right. Yeah, it could be.
So yeah, I mean, you have these matches, and you've probably heard me say this on the show before, but I reference 10-man tag that I was in that was supposed to be on WrestleMania 10, and it was placed after the ladder match.
Oh wow!
And at the time I didn't understand what that meant, and that was because sometimes you have to like either completely just nix the match or really cut the fucking time down.
Right.
Depending on if somebody doesn't,
yeah, exactly,
hit their time cues.
Right.
Yeah. So that might be what happened. Somebody might have went over time and they needed that 10 that quick.
Right. We had Kofi defending or successfully defending the WWE title against Samoa Joe. That was good. I want to see more from Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
I want to see him do more.
Yeah.
And then finally we had the winner take all mixed tag team match: Seth and Becky versus Baron and Lacey.
Yeah.
Did you catch that one?
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't see I couldn't tell you every move they did,
Right.
but I was following it.
Yeah.
And I honestly was concerned about them sticking Becky and Seth together as a couple, because honestly, some people are just like,
yeah. Well, and there was, and to bring it back to the finish of this match.
On screen.
Sure. No, on absolutely.
Screen. And
right.
I kind of knew, it's going to be about 2 seconds before they start fucking booking them on camera as a couple together.
Right, exactly.
And that's really fucking risky.
Right.
But I thought that, how this played out last night and, Becky getting fucking pasted by Corbin.
Oh, yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk about because there's a trope. Do you know about fridging in movies and in fiction, that kind of trope, the term fridging?
I don't know the term, but if you fucking explain the
so
know what
it's basically the idea that something bad has to happen to a woman in order to motivate the man. Basically.
Yeah, that is an old tired, but I mean.
Yeah.
But it's so what?
Right.
So what? Not so what? I don't mean to dismiss that,
sure.
But yeah, when somebody fucks up one of your loved ones, and they could have done it the other way around too.
Right.
I mean, obviously not in this case.
If Lacey had just fucking knocked out Seth.
Or just even I don't know. But yeah, I'm aware of that.
Right.
I didn't know that was called fridging.
Yeah. And so I think there could have been better ways to do that. Just from a pure technical standpoint, the end of days looked beautiful. Becky took the hell out of that move. And it's a gorgeous move just in general. But I thought it was a hell of a surprise for sure. Nobody was expecting it. I know that much.
Yeah.
And then of course we've got Brock cashing in Money in the Bank on Seth.
So are we not supposed to fridge anymore? Is that the thing?
Yeah, basically. It's because it's marginalizing women and it's kind of minimizing their role to being tertiary to the man's story. The fact that she's just there to motivate him, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then we had Brock cashing in on Seth, hits him with 2 Germans, hits him with the F5, new Universal Champion. So we're going back to that well. What do you think about that? Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Right.
I mean, I guess it depends on what they do moving forward with it. I mean,
Right.
Is he going to be there? I mean, I don't know.
That's always kind of the
I just don't know.
the guessing game, right?
Yeah. Why do you? I mean, there must be a reason why they did it,
right? And as we kind of segue right into Raw, we, not to jump around too much, but we see that Brock versus Seth is one of the first matches that they've set up for SummerSlam. So we'll see how much he's around for the build up to that.
Man, there was something that really wanted me to see Randy Orton win that and fucking work with Brock.
Really?
I don't know why. Because, I mean, I know obviously the better match, technically, most people would say the better match technically would be Seth, right?
Sure.
But there was just something about, even just when they looked at each other, and I'm just well, interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
And there's a lot of history there.
I might be in a small crowd.
I can see what you're saying.
But
He wouldn't have been my first choice. I'll say that much. But given their history, both coming from kind of that OVW era, both debuting in I think it was 2002, there definitely could have been something interesting there for sure. Especially given the fact that Orton kind of hasn't been on screen in a little while. That could have been interesting. But
I thought, Battle Royal suck, and that was a pretty good Battle Royal.
It was, yeah.
And I honestly,
do you think it was because it was limited to 10 guys?
I think that I could be wrong, but I think that they might have saw how successful it was that AEW did it.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we.
Yeah, but wasn't AEW's Battle Royal like where people enter like a.
Are you talking about the one from.
Even Fighter Fest or whatever. Like.
Right. It might have been a little bit different. I don't know if it was just a 10-man, because I think obviously your chances of success go up when you're only dealing with 10 guys.
Yeah.
And you're not dealing with timed entrances either. So you don't have to worry about a ton of stuff like that. So we get, Heyman and Brock come out. They announce there's going to be a 10-man all-star cross-branded battle royal. It was a mouthful.
Yeah.
And this brand split kind of isn't really like a brand split anymore.
No.
They're not even mentioning the wild card rule.
No, and also what happens too is, they try to run house shows on the same fucking day.
Right.
With the other brand.
I see.
And then they take fucking, because of this wild card thing, and for TV, they take a bunch of people off of the house show, and then the people that come to the house show thinking they're going to see these SmackDown stars get fucked.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So no, honestly, they need to figure that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We had a 2 out of 3 falls 6-man tag, Ricochet and the Usos versus Robert Roode and the Revival. I don't know, the 2 out of 3 falls thing, man, is.
Oh, for what?
It's a lot. Just there's the fact that they're still avoiding.
Oh, talking about Raw.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even know, I wasn't even paying attention to that.
Right. Yeah.
I don't like that, but
right.
Whatever.
Yeah, so
it didn't keep me from enjoying.
Yeah. It was good. Yeah, the action itself was good. Ricochet and the Usos pull off the win. The club shows up, beats down Ricochet afterwards, so we're moving along with that. Viking Raiders in a
I like their little
squash.
Squash, yeah.
Yeah. Cedric Alexander versus Drew McIntyre. Like we were talking about this a little bit before we went on.
Listen, it was nice they did that. Could have handled all that last week.
Exactly.
Just had them fucking
win instead of
when it made more sense.
Right, exactly.
But I still think it's good they did this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously
it was maybe a week late, but it was still a good correction.
Yeah. And not only that, but it's so interesting now seeing guys with kind of the background in Evolve, guys like Cedric and Drew now on this kind of a stage.
I had one little issue with that match is I thought Cedric got too much shit in before he won.
Before the flash pin, really?
Yeah. Yep.
I can see that.
And when somebody's beating the fuck out of you, and this goes for Drew too, you don't just beat the fuck out of somebody, shoot them into the ropes, and they do that.
The handspring,
and then start taking over on you. You got to at least miss something, or
sure,
have a little that was
right.
And then that handspringy thingy. How many fucking people do it on what? I must have saw it half a dozen times.
Oh, because Lucha House Party probably does it too. Yeah,
and then in the same match,
right?
Dude, figure out which one are you going to do it in this match,
right?
And
yeah. It's been a while since it was just the Tajiri spot. What else? We had okay, so Samoa Joe defeats Finn Balor in less than a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Afterwards, attacks him. Finn fights him off.
That was so weird.
It was weird, but I see where they're going because now we're at the return of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, but so why do we do that with? So why does Bray Wyatt come in and beat fucking Finn after he just
got beat?
Yeah.
Already? Yeah, I'm not sure.
And then they give it back to
right.
They have Finn get mad because he got mad because he lost, so he cleaned the house.
Well, Samoa Joe attacked him after the pin.
Okay.
So he was fighting him off. Then we get the return of Bray Wyatt in his new full-on gear, in his Fiend getup, which I thought looked amazing. Yeah. How do you feel about the new Bray Wyatt?
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and I like all of this. It's just that one little part of that segment was weird to me.
Exactly.
Why are they doing this with him after he just did a job?
Right. Speaking of things that make us question some of these, Zack Ryder defeats Mike Kanellis in 3 seconds with a Rough Rider.
Yeah.
And Maria Kanellis, I believe, said that her unborn child would have had a better chance than Mike Kanellis.
You know what? Next. I'm just not even talking about this
No,
anymore.
and I think you said your piece about this last week.
I'm not going to keep talking about this.
Yeah, we had the club beating the Lucha House Party. Here's what I'll say about this. I enjoyed this, and I like
good.
I like the mixing of the cruiserweights with the heavyweights, basically.
Yeah.
Between Cedric and Drew, between this, like, they're matchups that we never really get to see because they keep the divisions so separate. But I think that stuff like this can make for some really fresh
these guys
matches.
are also... There's so many guys that are used as heavyweights that are small.
Right, yeah.
That it's, yeah.
Right.
Might as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and if you use them well and not just use, the guys from 205 work with the main roster guys and put them over every fucking time, it actually might mean something.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have a number one contender elimination match to determine the number one contender for the Raw Women's title. Natalya ends up winning against Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and Carmella. Mm-hmm. This was good. They got a lot of time.
It was good. And fuck you to everyone in the crowd that was chanting like this is awful and shit like that. What a bunch of fucking assholes.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. Like if you were one of those people, you're a fucking asshole. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. There are more constructive ways to voice your opinions.
Because it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously there were some things they were trying to protect.
Of course.
Alexa, but like there was nothing fucking wrong with that match at all.
Right.
There was just something wrong with the crowd.
Yeah.
Well, not the whole crowd, because that was a pretty good crowd, but like, you know, whoever, like,
yeah.
it's just such a fucking dick fucking thing to do.
Yeah, it is. We got some promo work between Natalya and Becky Lynch to kind of set up now that that's the title match.
I like Natalya's, I liked her intensity in that. Yeah. And they actually like cheered her when she I
was honestly like, after how they were reacting to the match, I was a little bit surprised about that.
Mm-hmm. But that Lexi sucks thing that she said didn't get over at all.
No, that got no reaction.
Yeah.
That was hard.
Yeah.
We had Dolph Ziggler on Miz TV. A pretty basic stuff. Ziggler ends up insulting Maurice, so Miz attacks him. That's one thing I love is that the Miz has this kind of believable intensity. Like the second those words came out of Dolph's mouth, he was on him, which I thought was good. We had more stuff surrounding the 24/7 title with R-Truth and Drake Maverick on Drake Maverick's honeymoon. What did you think about this?
Apparently,
because
it was good.
I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's fun stuff. It's a nice change of pace.
Apparently, it was good. I missed it.
Did you miss it? Okay,
yeah, but I've heard it was really good.
Yeah. I think
I'm concerned. Like I'm concerned that they jumped the shark with this whole thing if they don't be careful though.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that. It's fun, and I think they picked the right guys for it. Yeah. But I think
I'm glad this. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all.
But it is rude of me.
No,
but sometimes I do anyways.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then I cut you off and can't remember what I was going to fucking say. So, what was I saying?
About if it was has jumped the shark.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because like the Alone with My Baby tonight thing from the week before, I thought that was like okay, and then they had this segment, so it's okay. Boom.
Yeah. No more references.
You don't get on base every time,
right? Yeah. And I think they're short enough segments that they don't really wear out their welcome, but they will hit a point of diminishing returns if they don't kind of evolve. I think that's what I'm looking for. Is like they're funny. I'm just looking for them to evolve. And then finally, we've got the 10-man All-Star Battle Royal. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Cesaro, Big E, Braun Strowman, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Bobby Lashley. Hell of a lineup in this one. Apparently, Sami Zayn was kind of a last-minute implementation, replacing Daniel Bryan.
Okay. Sami got a haircut.
Yeah,
I noticed that. At first, I thought he was bald.
Right.
Anyways. That's what I noticed from the fucking match. I think Sammy had a haircut.
That stuff jumps out at you sometimes. But yeah, it was a solid battle royal.
Yeah.
Rollins hits the stomp on Orton, eliminates him last.
They figured out how for everyone in there to
get their kind of spots in.
Signature shit in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's always tough in battle royals. Like sometimes
when you have too many people.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So we've got, as far as what we've got officially confirmed for SummerSlam, it's only Rollins and Lesnar and Lynch and Natalya. There are also, so what we were talking about Bray Wyatt, the rumors going around is that it's going to be Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor to kind of lead into Finn's sort of sabbatical, not to tip the hand too much. And then also they're probably going to go with Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. So shaping up to be a good lineup.
For SummerSlam?
For SummerSlam. Yeah. In Toronto.
Okay.
So shaping up to be a solid lineup.
All right.
Yeah. So that's a lot. We got through a whole hell of a lot, Sean.
Good. Trying to figure out when I'm fucking gonna go back down to NXT.
Yeah, right.
Because August is kind of. I might probably go back down there. I don't know, middle of August.
Right. Well, speaking of August, you'll be in Pittsburgh for Steel City Comic Con, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's like the 9th through 11th.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, looking forward to that. I'm going to be somewhere in Wisconsin next week. I can't fucking remember where, though.
Right.
That sucks.
You'll get there. You'll figure it out.
There was a last-minute gig I took last minute.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Nice. Those are good, though.
I got hit up to go do San Diego Comic Con, and I just like went, I don't want to do it.
It's so much.
It's overwhelming seeming.
Yeah. No, yeah. Last year was my first year, and it's a lot to take in.
I mean, I could use the money, and I appreciate you hitting me up, but
right.
Oh fuck! You know what? I actually didn't hit him back. I get so many fucking messages. You wouldn't believe, like, people must say, "Oh, this fucking guy, he never returns calls." You wouldn't believe. If you looked at my text, I mean, there's so many. You could text message me like an hour ago, and by now it's already like
just
all
buried.
the way down to fucking off the page.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah. Be sure if you're in Pittsburgh, August 9th through 11th, check Sean out. Steel City Comic Con. You'll be in Tampa next week for Raw Reunion. Yeah. So that'll be cool. But is that it? Should we get out of here? Should we wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
We tag teamed it. Denise, obviously, not here this week, but she will be back next time. But I had fun.
You did a good job, Ty.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hopefully everyone out there feels the same as I did.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Hey, somebody, like, not that I go, like, looking at comments that often, but like somebody commented on that I look like a homeless guy. I think it's because of my beard.
It's gotta be the beard. You never read the YouTube comments. Sean, where can they find John? Where can they find you online?
I'm not mad about that. I thought it was fun.
No, yeah. Where can they find you on social media, Sean?
I don't know. The real X-Pac.
The real X-Pac.
Yeah.
There you go.
At Real X-Pac on Instagram. I was going to say social media.
Yeah.
On fucking Instagram.
On all forms of social media. Twitter,
it's a little
Instagram.
different on each one.
Oh, okay. You can find the show on, we're on youtube.com/X-Pac. We're getting closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers day by day, so help us push it out to that.
Denise likes to go, we're almost there. Actually, we're like 1,500.
We're getting there. Yeah. We're closer to 10,000 than we are to 5. I'll say that. Yeah. Find us on YouTube.
Some people are like, you should have way more subscribers. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not doing something right.
No, leave us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. If you're on iTunes, please remember to review, subscribe, rate, comment, 5 stars, all of that good stuff. Let us know what you think of the show. We're on all of your podcast apps. We're on Stitcher, we're on Anchor, we're on Spotify, all that stuff. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me on social media at Ty Matthews PMA. But until next time,
we'll see you right here next week from the lovely AfterBuzz Studios in North Hollywood, California.
Absolutely.
Goodbye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Sean Waltman, and the entire X-Pac 12360 staff, thank you for tuning in to X-Pac 12360.